WarioWare Get It Together is the latest in the line of Mario Party's unique and strange cousin, the WarioWare series. Unlike Mario Party, WarioWare games tend to be much quicker paced, focusing on quick thinking and reaction skills, and in previous games tend to really lean in on the uniqueness of the Nintendo consoles they come out on. However, with the Switch being so versatile, with many different gimmicks possible like motion control, touchscreen support, HD rumble, the one the game is based around seems to be the two-player co-op with the good old sideways Joy-Con, hence the Get It Together. Luckily, even though most of my playing experience was on my own, that didn't stop Get It Together from being a very enjoyable experience.
Light up.
The creativity in this game is over the top. Literally almost every single microgame I played had me thinking to myself, how and why did that come to the developer's head? And I mean that in the best way possible. Playing through the fast-paced games, I got into a sort of zen-like rhythm at times, and just lived in the headspace of people far more creative than I will ever be. The games are extremely clever, and the way each game becomes slightly more challenging in fun, creative ways depending how far you enter a run impressed me so much. The upbeat, level-themed music does a great job of conveying the speed of the games you're playing and kept me wanting to get faster and faster. Other than a few instances, the game is constantly moving and there is little downtime for you to so much as check your phone or otherwise get distracted. The game is just plain fun. There's no better word for it.
Yay.
Wario time!
The game's story acts as a sort of long tutorial. You unlock characters at the beginning of each new area and are often treated to a colorful, oftentimes confusing, but still fun to watch animated cutscene introducing the character. Each character plays a little different, but luckily you are forced to play a quick 20 to 30 second practice game to get a feel of what you'll be working with. I won't say the exact number of characters, but it's a lot, and I would say that like 90% are fun to play as in my opinion. And the good thing about the other 10% that I did not like is I was rarely, if ever, forced to play as them. The game lets you pick who you want to play as in most modes, and this option is welcome. Some characters just feel more fun to me, and I was glad that the game did not make me play as a character that I felt was less fun, other than their story-specific areas, which are over quick enough where it isn't a problem. Each story section ends with a boss, and I often found these a bit underwhelming. There are definitely some cool ideas, and some of them are fun, but most are just slower, stretched out minigames that ruin the breakneck pace of microgames that lead up to them. Also, ironically, the boss battles are often easier than the games that come along the way, largely due to the slower speed of the games themselves. I kind of see them as random Mario Party type minigames thrown in while you're in the zone in hyper-focused and high-speed WarioWare gameplay. I appreciate that boss battles exist, and to be honest, I'm not really sure how you'd improve them, but I just feel like they messed up the pacing of the game more often than not. It is not a deal breaker for the first time you complete an area, because after beating the boss you move to the next area, but if you ever replay a section for a high score, you'll be forced to play these bosses every so often, and it got a little old after a while.
Nice.
After completion of the story, you'll unlock a variety of other modes, but unfortunately, most of these other modes don't really feel like something I would turn on more than once just to check out. Only a couple of them are single-player compatible, and I personally didn't find them as fun as the base game was in the first place. The real draw to continue playing is aiming for higher scores than the levels you completed to finish the game. I like checking boxes. It feels good to me to get that check mark on a task and makes me feel productive like I'm completing something. Luckily for me, WarioWare has plenty of boxes for me to check, and oftentimes these boxes even point me in directions to play the game a little differently than I otherwise would have, forcing me to mix it up. There are dozens upon dozens of challenges to complete, some easy, some very hard, some just goofy. You don't have to do these by any means, but it gave me something to strive for, and completing these challenges helped supply me with more and more coins to satisfy my urge to level up and customize my characters. The character leveling up and customization functionality is unlocked later in the game, and I'm honestly not too sure why. Not being able to level up your characters from the start, as little of importance as it actually has, was a weird decision in my book. Same goes for character customization. Once I could customize my characters, I had access to so many different options, I never got the opportunity to try each one out along the way. But these late options are better than no options at the end of the day, I guess. One thing the game does keep track of from the start is stats, and if you're a numbers person like myself, you'll be happy to see this game log some character stats such as win rate and most played characters that I personally thought were interesting to dive into. It helped me get a feel of which characters I was good with and which ones I lost with frequently. While I still pretty much picked to play as whatever character I thought was fun, it was cool to see where I could create some sort of strategy to beat some harder challenges if I chose to.
Wario time.
As fun as WarioWare Get Together is by yourself, it can be even more fun multiplayer. It's even in the name. Couch co-op was hectic, loud, and confusing, just what you want from a fun multiplayer game. Completing microgames without messing your teammate up was funny, but sometimes a little difficult. One mistake from one player takes one of the shared lives away, so it seems extra punishing. Rarely did playing multiplayer give any real advantage since it's hard to communicate ideas in the short amount of time given, so in my experience, it actually made it harder to progress further. Sadly, there's no online co-op multiplayer in the game, which would have been welcome. The online functionality falls to a post-story mode game mode called Wario Cup, in which you compete on leaderboards with weekly challenges to get a high score and earn rewards. The 2 challenges I've done so far have been rewarding and made me try my best to get the gold score. Strangely, this mode is, from what I can tell, the only place where the level of your characters matters, so theoretically, the leaderboards could become top-heavy with people who decide to grind their characters up. The point bonus isn't crazy, but I feel the leaderboards should be kept on a fair playing field. WarioWare Get Together is an absolute blast. The quick survival type minigame modes always had me wanting to click play again, similar to that one more run feeling you get in a great roguelike. Once I was playing, it was hard to stop. I always wanted to break the high score, get that one challenge from the mission tab, find that one missing game I hadn't quite played yet. It goes on and on. Sure, you can get through all of the unique content rather quickly, I estimate no more than 5 hours, but it's such a tight, dense serving of content, I wasn't even bothered by it. I've spent twice that time going back and replaying the story modes, trying to get higher scores and check all the boxes in my mission tab. And the rewards for doing so, leveling up and customizing my characters, was fun enough to keep moving back and forth wanting to get more and more coins. WarioWare deserves a shot if you're a fan of the series or if you're just a fan of creative, quick-to-play games. Couch co-op play is lots of fun, and while the screen may get a little crowded at times, leading to unfortunate quick losses, it was still a hilarious, fun experience.
Beep beep. Assemble.
Have you played WarioWare Get It Together? Let me know in the comments what you think about it. And while you're down there, please leave any feedback, positive or negative, you may have of this review, as it can help me on future videos. Consider leaving a like or subscribing if you enjoyed the video. If not, give it a dislike, because if I squint hard enough, I can't tell the difference anyway. If you want to watch me play games live and say hello, check me out on twitch.tv/dailybeating, where I play a variety of games by myself and with some friends. It would mean a lot to me if you stop by. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you are a WarioWare of how fun this game is.